folks. Sorry, my ventilator is on. It is really hot today. This week is going to be another week of me creating my vacation wardrobe, and today I am going to make a very simple day dress, a picnic dress with this gorgeous twill fabric right here, which is cream colored with beautiful floral elements on it, and it also has little bugs on it, which I just find is the cutest. There's little bees, little ladybirds, and these purple little bugs, which I have no idea if they actually exist, but I love this fabric and I want to make a dress out of it that I can literally wear wherever, whenever, on whatever kind of day. It's gonna be super simple. You already know this kind of dress from other videos on my channel. I'm gonna shear the top and I'm gonna give it a midi length gathered skirt, but this time the top of the dress is gonna be a little bit shorter, so all in all it might have like a bit of a Bridgerton-esque vibe to it with like an on-pied waist seam. And I actually want to challenge myself. It is 2:30 in the afternoon and I want to see how long it takes me to make this dress. I have made this kind of dress multiple times before now at this point, and I think I might be quite quick this time around, so I'll keep you updated on how long it takes me to make this. So let's go. Alright, so that's all the fabric I had, and all of this is going to become the dress. This is the top, these are the straps, and this is the skirt. It is currently 5 minutes to 3, so it took me 20 minutes to suss this out, longer than it should have, but now I can start sewing. I'm first going to stitch together the side of the skirt here and the side of the top. Then I'm going to gather the width of the skirt and sew it together with the width of the top. Alright, so I just serged the top loop, so we have something looking like this, and I also serged the sides of the skirt loop, which is about this big. Up next, I'm going to first fold over this top section by about that much, so 1.5 centimeters, and I'm going to stitch it down. So later on, once everything is sheared, I'm gonna have a bit of a ruffle situation. I think that's gonna look cute. And once that is done, I can add a basting stitch to the upper end of my skirt, so to the waist seam, so I can gather it down to the width of my actual top loop. I hope that makes sense. Alright, so first up, finishing the top of the bust loop. So I'm going to fold this over by 1 centimeter, and then I'm going to stitch it down. The top section of the top is finished, as you can see here. So once this is going to be sheared, this is going to become a really cute little ruffle situation, which I like. And I have also added a basting stitch to the waist seam of the skirt. Basting stitch simply means setting your sewing machine to the biggest stitch length available to you. For me that's 5, and not locking the end and the beginning of it. And now I can grab one side, either top or bottom thread, just one of them, and then I can start gathering the skirt. 67 centimeters on the half, obviously, so that's what I need to gather it down to. Alright, it's already gathered down to 67 centimeters, so that's going to correspond nicely with the top, as you can see. Now I'm just gonna close this off by knotting the two threads top and bottom together so nothing moves around too much. And the only thing that we need to make sure is that we kind of gather it along the entirety of the skirt. So right now there's no gather in the back, so I need to move the volume along the waistline to get a bit of gather in the back as well. And this is just gonna be even more prominent later once we have sewn top and skirt together, and then once the top is sheared, this is going to be gathered up even more. This is just to make sure that we have an easier time connecting top and skirt with each other. And now we can start pinning together the top and the skirt. And the way to do this is there's one seam both in the skirt and in the top, and I'm going to use this as a back seam. So this is where I'm going to start. So these are the two seams, and I'm going to pin together skirt and top, right sides touching. Right, waist seam is pinned together. Now I'm first going to give it a stitch on my sewing machine, and then I'm going to serge it on my serger. Alright, we have something looking like a dress. Now, I'm going to focus on the straps next. Okay, so we have these straps that are 100 centimeters times 20. The idea is that these are going to be folded over once and stitched and overturned, and then after the fact, they're going to encase this elastic right here. This elastic is going to gather up the length of the sleeve and make cute ruffles on the side. I don't know yet if I need the entirety of this strap, but we will be able to tell once I start sewing them together. So first up, simply folding them alongside their long edge and sewing down. Alright, so I just pressed the straps, and the seam that I made to overturn the straps is now in the middle of the back side. You might be able to tell that it's here. The idea is that I am now creating a tunnel dead center in the middle of this thing, where later this elastic can go in. I'm gonna eyeball this. I'm not gonna be like super duper exact. I'm going to place this thing in the middle and then see. That is 3 centimeters each from the edge of the strap. Just place it in my sewing machine with this guide here. I can tell that I'm 3 centimeters away from the edge, and I'm going to sew all the way down on one side and then on the other side. It is now 4:10 and the sleeves are prepared for the elastics, and I obviously changed my mind. There's a different distance. Well, actually this came from a mistake, to be completely honest with you. I placed the first edge into my machine the wrong way, so there's only 2.5 centimeters of a distance between the edge and the first seam here, and then there is 4 centimeter or like 3.5 centimeters on the other side. But I actually think that that could turn out nicely if this is the side facing towards my neck and this is the side facing towards the end of my shoulder. I think that could be a cute look. So now I'm gonna thread in the elastic. Oh, no, not gonna thread in the elastic. I'm actually gonna start the shearing process now, because I don't know how long the elastic is supposed to be for the exact length of the straps, and I will only know that once I can put on the dress properly. So shearing it is. So I prepared the dress to be sheared. I added these stripes in a 1.5 centimeter distance to the top, which hopefully are going to help me to create an even shearing look. And before I can start, I have to wind my bobbin by hand. As per usual, I'm using a Korbond elastic thread that I'm going to wind onto the bobbin by hand, and you simply do that by winding it with one hand in a way that it's kind of tight and neat, but not too tight and not too loose. You have to find the middle ground. So when you let go of the thread, it shouldn't jump off the bobbin like crazy. It should more or less stay on it. And you will have to probably do this a few times in the shearing process, unless you have a very small piece that you are going to shear. Alright, so that's enough. I'm going to replace my usual bobbin thread with this elasticated bobbin the way I usually would, counterclockwise. And the thing you do want to make sure is that the elastic thread definitely gets caught by the tension disc. If it doesn't get caught by the tension disc, you won't be able to create any tension. The shearing process usually takes a while, so I'm gonna throw a movie on. It is currently 4:45. I took a little break that lasted half an hour. So let's finish up the straps. I have 2 identical pieces of elastic here, which I'm going to use to feed into these pieces of fabric. Now you can see that the elastic is quite a bit shorter than the fabric straps, and that's all right, because the plan is to gather this onto the length of the elastic to get this ruffled effect. All right, straps are done, and look how sweet they are. I mean, this is really cute. Like, these scream picnic dress to me. And now I have to attach them to the sheared top. Alright, so I tried the dress, I pinned the straps, and now I'm gonna top stitch them down. So the straps are on, the dress is practically finished. The only thing to do is to do the hem. Now, this is supposed to be an everyday dress, and at the moment it looks very occasional. So what I was thinking is to shorten it a little bit, but I don't want to waste what I cut off. I'm gonna probably cut off 10 centimeters and make a strap out of it that I can attach here. And then we have a little belt situation. So let's go.
Story being told inside my head. I'm too shy to straighten up my bones and be a man. I gotta tear this wall apart to let you in. My friends say the time's running out, so take the chance. Make a move, 'cause the store won't stay open.